What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me have some more RPG horror stories. Since the Halloween, the spooky time is basically right around the corner, I was thinking maybe we should try to, I don't know, stream some sort of a spooky game. Maybe even like do it like RPG horror stories on like the worst RPG horror stories or the scariest RPG horror stories. I'm pretty new to the whole like RPG horror story scene, like as a YouTube channel, so there are a lot of stories that I've yet to even cover or even read for my own. So yeah, we should totally do something like that. I did it last year where we like picked the top nightmare RPG horror stories and just kind of put them together. It wasn't necessarily about the horrors, just top rated RPG horror stories, but either way, I'm gonna think of something to do that's like a little more special for this year. Either way, let's get some RPG horror stories for today. Absolutely wild character backstory. This is a character someone tried to submit to a D&D server I'm in. Sadly, I didn't manage to grab the stat line and character art before admin deleted the post and kicked the guy. Background: Paula is the first pair of flesh legs to be animated by the mad alchemist Vertrone. Vertrone wanted to create a female lover made out of alchemist morph clay and flesh. He had followed up and only made a pair of legs instead. Somehow the legs gained awareness and a psionic voice. I was able to function upon just two tweet legs connected to an energy morph membrane that controls the legs. Pala was used as a crotch rubber for many guests and Vertone himself, until one day PSKA found the dead body of a female paladin in Vertone's dungeon. The body was the leg model for Pala, as she knew this was a part of her, so she took the paladin leg armor and magic heel greaves. Later on, Vertrone found a Pala donning the magic leg armor. A brief battle pursued, as Pala had taken the knowledge from the dead paladin's leftover mental energy. This has made a psionic connection. As Pala was outmatched by his madness, the goddess maiden of destiny, Destalia, came and attacked the mad alchemist with a psionic sex attack with goddess finger. As the mad alchemist was being rubbed, Pala had the chance to escape. Now she's on the run from the mad alchemist. My question is, why is there so many mistypos? Is it because they just wrote it so fast because they were just so excited over the sex attacks and goddess finger? Or were they writing it with one hand and cranking it with the other? You're like, what is this backstory? If I would have read that, I would immediately veto that immediately. I'm like, no, this is, no, you're not playing as a pair of legs, having a sex god and sex attack. I'm not having this. Or robbing people. Maybe somebody has a foot fetish. I wanted to have the character literally just be feet. Just feet. Maybe they have a leg fetish and a foot fetish. They just want the character just to be legs and feet. Still, bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But you know what? That's why we do this on RPG horror stories. We look for these bizarre things so we can learn not to do for ourselves. Look out for that sex attack, everybody. Next story. Let's go to that next story. D&D player tries to be Andrew Tate. Oh my god. Okay, let's try to absorb this as best as we can. I feel just intense cringe just from reading the title alone, and it makes me think of that one story about a player that wanted to make Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but based. Let's see how this Andrew Tate character comes around, I guess. So me and a couple friends decided to play D&D again after years apart after high school. And now most of us had graduated college and some even married. We had recently reconnected on Discord after a couple of my friends had met up in person and decided to get the group back together. This group included me and my best friends, still in college, never lost contact, another friend who I had not seen since high school, one was now married and had a kid with his girlfriend from high school, the DM, who I had not talked to in years either, and then that guy of the group. Nobody had seen since high school, but was a part of our little group. We agreed to meet up for D&D at that guy's apartment. My friend would bring his wife, and I brought my girlfriend. When we got to that guy's apartment, he had a crappy car that he had painted up to look what he probably thought was badass. When we came to the door, that guy had no shirt on and sunglasses and had shaved his head. We were just like, okay. That guy also made a lot of jokes about bringing chicks to a man's game. He ended up ruling a dragonborn barbarian with a harem that served his and his client's every sexual need. It is a little bit weird that you're greeting your friends shirtless, but I don't know, maybe it's your thing. Maybe you just really want to, really reconnect with your bros, and you'll be like, yo bro, look at me, I'm so shirtless and sexy and stuff. Do you want to cuddle later? I don't know, maybe that's what he's into. Hard to tell. But either way, let's continue. He even tried arguing with the DM about why he should be allowed to bring the harem on the journey with him, and DM tried to push back, but that guy just got louder and more aggressive, and DM caved and let him bring his harem with him. And this was a mistake, as almost every woman we encounter, from barmaids to enemy combatants, he would offer them a position in his harem. He also kept hitting on my girlfriend's character, which made us both uncomfortable. I even confronted him about it after the session, and he just kind of gaslit me about it by saying, "Stop being paranoid, no one's trying to steal your girl. Jealousy is very unattractive to women, just makes you look like a beta." He's going like hardcore into this Andrew Tate roleplay, isn't he? Jesus Christ. People that use language like beta, they're probably betas themselves, but also don't understand what beta is. But they believe in this like alpha, sigma, ligma stuff. They believe in all of it. So alpha and sigma and beta stuff is just like horoscopes for insecure dudes. Anyway, let's see what this Andrew Tate sigma ligma is gonna do. Sorry, it's hard to take this seriously. The guys are role-playing as Andrew Tate. I told my girlfriend that if he made her uncomfortable, we can bounce, but she wanted to stay. She had made an Eladrin sorcerer girl that she really liked and just thought that guy was a minor annoyance. The next incident came after my friend, Orc Warlock, suggested that we spend the day shopping before we leave for the city. That guy groaned and said, "Why the hell are you doing that?" My friend said, "We need some armor and weapons, bro. But the city is rife with BBG spies. Might be able to learn something." That guy then said that if he has spies, there's all the more reason to bounce. I don't need no freaking armor anyway. My friend then started getting irritated and said, "Maybe you don't, but the rest of us do, so let's just have a day, please." And then that guy pouted the whole rest of the session and said we were wasting time, and said, "Turning D&D to some little girl dollhouse simulator," and then made fun of us shopping by trying to imitate a stereotypical teenage girl shopping as we went out to town. Leaving town without shopping for supplies, not very alpha of you, if I say, or sigma, or ligma. Actually very beta move. It's a beta move to just leave town without doing proper prep work and shopping. It's the alpha. I can't keep the joke going. Like, we can all mock this guy because he's being absolutely ridiculous. Like, he's pouting because he just wants to leave town, while everybody else wants to actually do stuff. Shopping for armor, getting some information, which is a logical thing to do. This guy just throwing a little bit of a hissy fit because people aren't doing what he wants to do. Boo hoo hoo. Anyway, let's continue. When we decided to stay in town the next session to investigate a mysterious spy that was hiding somewhere in town, he got bored and decided to murder our leads that could have helped us find the spy. When questioned, he claimed they were stalling us anyway. They probably would have just led us into a trap. Ironically, his shenanigans made us have to remain in town longer to find the spy, but we did find him and moved on. Okay, actively sabotaging. Not very alpha of you, Andrew Tate. Not very alpha, very beta of you to just sabotage for the sake of lacking of success. My question right now is like, why does DM just let him do it? Why does DM is like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can murder the confidant. Why is DM just not asking, why do you want to murder the confidant? Why do you want to murder the leads? Why do you want to extend the session for another 3 hours of people walking around town when things were going so swimmingly? What is your point, buddy? Why do you do this? I get it's happening at the guy's house and stuff, and it'd be really awkward to kick him out in his own house, but like, probably should have played in a different place, honestly. A different place, maybe like a games workshop or a DM's place or something, I don't know. Either way, the group is currently gridlocked inside of that guy's apartment to play the game, or place, I don't know what he's, penthouse. He believes it's a penthouse, probably thinks it's alpha penthouse. I don't know, dude. His war room, that's what it is. Andrew Tate constantly used the word war room for his like little pad, his crib. So let's see how the group continues with this absolute Sigma Ligma. The last straw, though, was the time he showed up drunk 3 sessions later. He dropped all pretense of plausible deniability, while our party was fighting said mysterious spy, who turned out to be a were-tiger with a couple of spells the DM added. He ended up striking the final blow, and then got really loud and pompous and unironically said it was due to his alpha male source energy. If he was doing it ironically, right? That'd be hilarious. That'd be a funniest bit ever. But the fact that he's doing it unironically is both extremely sad, but also extremely funny that he thinks he's actually being, it's his alpha energy that caused him to have a finishing blow in a TTRPG game. Then after the session, he follows my girlfriend to the kitchen while we were having our post-session dinner. I didn't hear this, but found out later that he said, "Oh my god." I don't know if you can hear this, but there's somebody mowing the lawn like extremely just right outside the window, and holy shit, that actually gave me a fucking jump scare. Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't hear this, but found out later that he said, "We're gonna end up together, I just know it." She told him to back off, and he said, "You don't have a choice, baby. The universe has manifested it." And then he leaned in for a kiss, and she slapped him. I'm sorry to say this, I'm sorry to use this lingo, but this Riz is ass. The last thing you want to tell to a woman is, "You don't have a choice, baby," because that makes it coming off extremely creepy and extremely predatorial, and that's not a good way of predatorial. It's not alpha energy, it's prison energy. You want to try to emulate somebody like Andrew Tate, and this is the best thing you can come up with? Dude, you could try a little bit harder than that. Come on. You know how like those like flirting coaches or like a pickup masters or whatever, you know, the stupid stuff, you know how they do like little lessons, like courses that you gotta pay money for to figure out how to like pick up girls and stuff? What if he actually paid money and that's the best thing he can come up with? He probably paid money learning this terrible Riz and just absolutely floundered. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Not only is it stupid, but it's also funny. They probably paid money to learn this Riz and it floundered on him just devastatingly. I didn't find out about this until we got home, and she told me that she didn't want to play anymore because she didn't feel comfortable in his house anymore. She told me the whole story, and then she had to try to convince me not to go back to his house to kick his ass. I then told the DM that we wouldn't be playing anymore, and DM then asked me if it was over something that guy did. I didn't give him the details, but told him that he was being creepy and making my girlfriend uncomfortable. DM seemed to get it on some level and agreed to kick the guy without asking questions. We all then decided to go to DM's place with a campaign from now on, and eventually my girlfriend didn't tell the party what happened. We all kind of looked back on his behavior and agreed we should have kicked that Andrew Tate wannabe a long time ago. We didn't because we were just so caught up in the gang getting back together. Sometimes you gotta accept that your old friends have changed. You know, that's a beautiful lesson. If you or a loved one is suffering from a cringedom, like emulating Andrew Tate or some other cringe lord, make sure to do the responsible thing and tell them they're cringe. But if they can't accept it, simply leaving by the wayside. Remove from your social circles and from the groups. Some people change for the better, and some people change for the worse. You should probably associate with people that change for the better and people that are still good people, and not associate with people that are cringe, basically. If they're unironically cringe to the point where it's becoming toxic and unwelcoming, probably don't want to hang in your social circles, and I don't think this party is losing much by kicking out this Andrew Tate wannabe. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.